This is the moment that changed everything between Momo and Okarun. But what does it all mean? It started with a promise. A guarantee amidst the most desperate of battles that she would return to save Okarun. As the threat of the evil eye grew, he knew that he had one chance to save Momo, to send her ahead to find them a way to escape, while he fought the eye and took care of Gigi. Despite arguing against it, Momo eventually agreed, but not without telling Okarun that she'll come back, and that she'll find a way to save him. She held his hand here as a physical manifestation of that promise, an unbreakable oath between two people that have come to care about each other as more than just friends. On this, the precipice of what could be the end, Momo lets her heart slip through the cracks. She reached out to him and held his hand not by choice but because she had to. For it to be more than just words, the promise needed to truly be more than just words. She linked her reassurance to return with this act of physicality because Momo needed to let him know that there's so much left unsaid between them. As if by connecting in this moment they could tempt the scales of fate to tilt in their favour. Because this tender touch between two entwined souls enraptured in a moment of unspoken encapsulated feelings carries so much weight. Her promise to return comes with the inkling that when she does, it'll be as more than what they were before. And this is Momo. She's not a thinker, she's not good at finding the words, but she is a doer. She acts. Even if she doesn't know how to express the way that she feels, her body moves without thinking. The heart follows the motion of the body, and she reaches out to Okarun in this moment. So much of Momo and Okarun's relationship is rooted in this physicality, like holding hands to secure their trust in the Turbo Granny fight, or the physical act of holding each other in the Serpo arc to reforge their bond, or even a lost, longing look into each other's eyes, to express feelings that are unstatable, yet ones that demand to be acknowledged. Because these moments, these feelings just spill out of them, and for Momo it's not a conscious choice, it's an uncontrollable action. And this handhold is one of them. And this differs between the anime and the manga in some really interesting ways. In the manga, this moment stands alone, like it's an act that expresses the depth of Momo's feelings towards Okarun in a really direct and clear way. There's little space for ambiguity here, especially as our minds transcend the moment through our imagination. However, the anime version is different. It feels incomplete. The handhold in the manga always felt like there was more left unsaid, and that this moment was an inspiration for Momo and Okarun to return, so that they can walk the path towards saying those things one day when they're reunited. But the anime takes this to a whole new level. The moment is sweet and tender, yet it feels like it's just the prelude to something more. I feel like Momo holds back slightly more here. She's more focused in a way. The moment is more understated and less overtly romantic, but I think that adds to everything. The anime's restraint adds a momentum. It holds back, but only so that it can hit harder later, because it's building up to something bigger, which we saw in the following episode. Defeating the evil eye was the end of the battle, but that doesn't mean that the day was won. While Saeko looks for Momo, it's clear that she's gone, because she only has one thing on her mind: Okarun. As Momo runs from the battlefield to find Okarun, she's so desperate, scared, terrified that the scales tilted against them. Seeing the evil eye in battle forced Momo to assume the worst for how he must have left Okarun. She's so scared because losing him now would ruin everything. All the moments yet to come, and the words yet to say that are wrapped up and calcified in the moment of physical contact that may be lost to never was. So she moves and she hears his voice beckoning her mind back to that promise to come back and to save him. Her desperation is so clear, even without words. She's exhausted, she's so scared, you can hear it in her breaths. She has so little to give, but still she pushes through. Because he needs her to do it. As her body led her heart before to initiate that touch, now it does it again. It doesn't falter. She doesn't falter. She refuses to fall. And this forces Momo to keep going, to run with everything she has despite being at her limits. Because that's what love is. It doesn't give up when you're at your limits. It drives you to give more than what you knew that you could, even when, no, especially when you're at the brink. It's standing up when you have nothing left to give and still pushing forward. And it's at this moment that Momo realizes that what she feels is love. Since meeting this boy, she started to see in colour. Whether she knew it or not, before him, her life was just grey. He brought colours into her life that she never could have expected and definitely could never have imagined. Through him, she awoke to her true power, and because of him, she's finally being seen for who she really is underneath. And so when they're reunited, she will see him. Manta's shrimp smashes through the remnants of that cursed house, and Momo finally collapses at the lair of the Tsuchinoko. An opportunity to keep her promise, to tell him everything that she has to say, to hold him like she should have done, and to see him as more than just a friend. To follow through with this whatever you may call it that she has with this boy. However, he's gone. An ocean of magma fills the gaping hole of the beast that consumed so many before. His next and final victim, Okarun. The silence is deafening, with the bubbling lava and Momo's sigh of disbelief filling this void. As the music gently drifts into the scene, Manta Shrimp speaks, but Momo doesn't respond. She just stares. Muted, empty, undone, staring into the bright red maw of her own failure. Because that's what this is, it's a failure of her promise. A promise to save him that she couldn't see through. And she stares at this scorching hot grave, thinking of him. She thinks of everything that they've been through until now, and his gentle expression. One that she'll never see again, and how all of that colour is gone. Because she couldn't see through with her side of the promise. She couldn't save him. The cool, soft blue of Okarun's final moment reverberates in her mind, as it's quickly contrasted against the blistering red of what may now be his final resting place. The end. An end that she rejects. Momo refuses to accept that this is it. She scowls and screams at Chiquitita to put the deathworm's mucus into the magma. Despite Mantis telling her to stop, she tells him that she is going in. Because it doesn't matter what the risk is. She promised Okarun that she would save him. Even if it means her death, she'll go forward. Because it's not fair. It's not fair that she got to escape and leave him alone. It's not fair that she would have failed to live up to her side of the bargain. And it's not fair that she would be the one forced to go on without him. And her life means so little without him in it. It's not hot. And he's there. Alive. Safe. Holding on to Turbo Granny, and he utters his first words. Her name. And he tells her that he believed in her to the very end. He knew that she would come for him. And he believed that she would keep her promise. Answering all of the fears that she had in her mind. Like he knew exactly what she needed to hear. And Momo breaks into tears. As Turbo Granny smashes her way into the scene, I guess we all kind of forgot about her in the excitement of the moment. And then she storms off. Okarun explains that it was thanks to trying to save Turbo Granny that he was able to build this barrier of Tsuchinoko phlegm to survive. That old lady cat really is lucky. The song, Less Than Lovers, gently drifts into the background as Okarun crawls out of this shell of salvation, asking about Gigi, making sure that his friend is okay. Momo offers him her hand and reassures him that he's fine. Despite everything, Okarun can't help but blame himself. Blame himself for not doing as he had promised and handling Gigi, as he said that he would when they parted, lamenting his own inability to keep his side of the deal. A reflection of the way that these two are so entwined with not wanting to let the other one down. Where Momo blamed herself at the thought of Okarun's demise, he blames himself at the idea that he couldn't do what he needed to do to protect her from the evil eye. As Okarun falls forward, he falls onto Momo, holding her for balance with his head crashing into her chest. He freaks out at the implication and immediately pulls away, in typical Okarun fashion. But Momo's reaction is different. From the moment that they met, they've been thrust together by forces stronger than either of them. They've tried to pull themselves away because of insecurity, embarrassment, and fear, but each time they've tried, they've simply found themselves closer as a result. They've spent so long running from it, running from destiny like it wouldn't try to chase them down anyway. They never let themselves accept that they want to be closer. But for what reason? What do any of these other things matter in the face of the purest of feelings? In the fear of losing him, Momo held his hand, as a way of cutting through all the complications and to take hold of that feeling, the simplest of sensations. A promise that would bind them together and drag them through it all the madness and the violence and the hatred that surrounds them, which she nearly lost him to. And so she won't let him go. Just like when she rejected the notion that Okarun could have died in the lava's pit, Momo refuses to let him pull away. She won't let the complexities or insecurities that they both feel about whatever this feeling is get in the way of this moment of pure, cathartic bliss. As her tears stream down her face, she walks to him and wraps her arms around him. He holds the weight of the world on his shoulders, but he did everything that he could. He goes on about his failure to stop Gigi, but then she tells him that it's her place to say sorry, not him. Momo apologizes because she failed him. She promised to save him and she failed. Because she wasn't enough. And so here they are, two equal failures, sharing this moment. And while Okarun is equally embarrassed in both the anime and the manga, here things diverge for Momo somewhat. She behaves differently. In the manga, this moment is singular. It's a complete moment of blissful connection. Momo holds him and she wraps her arms around him tenderly, digging her face into his shoulder. It's overt in its lovingness, so clear in their intentions. It leaves no room for doubt and no space to pretend. But the anime does it differently. It trades Momo's ability to dare to express everything into something more desperate, but still limited by her reservations. Where the manga shows her gently hold Okarun, in the anime, she clings to him. Not just in emotional expression, but as a desperate desire to hold him close. A breakdown of sorts. All of the fear, adrenaline, and despair that worked its way into her soul, a feeling that she was ready to sacrifice her life to see through, all of this dissipates. Because he's alive. He's okay. And rather than lovingly nuzzling her nose into his shoulder, she gently drives her head into his chest, looking down the whole time, as she lets the tears flow. And this is Momo Ayase. She's still so scared of letting anyone see her true self in its entirety, her honest, raw, unfiltered feelings. Even in this moment of pure cathartic expression, she isn't ready to let him see the true depths of her devotion and affections for him, the level to which she feels for him. So she hides herself, obscuring her face so that he can't see the tears well up and stream down her cheeks. because this would be giving away too much about what her heart holds. But even in this, her body leads once more. She holds him because she needs to. Her heart demands that her body moves closer and refuses to let him go. She almost lost him. In almost losing him, she finally understands that she wants him. She complicates it, she gets in her head about it, she lets herself push it back, but why? What does that matter when everything is on the line? In wanting this, in wanting him, she finally understands her heart. She can finally accept that what she feels is love, as the twinkling stars provide gentle illumination to their shared something. Momo lets herself feel this as she cries. And this is the moment that changes everything, because there's no more room for doubt. Yes, they walk on separate paths, drift on different oceans, but they will land on the same shore. They're both on the way to the same destination. And now she knows what she almost lost. She'll cling to it. She won't let it go. Because they're more than friends, yet less than lovers. But not by much.